Hello and welcome back to another painting video and the finale of our Gundam Assemble series. We will be painting the Tallgeese from the Assemble starter set. And this is the last of all the Assemble sets that we would have done. So let's get started by doing our dry brush run with our medium sea gray. Took a little break to do some Space King. I hope you guys enjoyed those. I know some of you have been looking forward to these videos as well. So let's get our dry brush nice and coated here and just give the Tallgeese a big old coat of gray. The tallest goose. Oops. And we didn't glue that on, so that's perfect. It's actually better that we just have that off for this step, since it's not glued on. Let's just keep reminding everyone that during these videos that we did not glue some things to other things to make them easier to paint, and then also for the game we did not glue them onto the base in case the hexagonal base is required, because the images that we've seen so far of the game that's going to be coming out, the Gundam Assemble miniatures game, is that they are on hex bases, so we didn't glue them onto the bases here. You don't have to get the under part so much as we need to get the upper parts here. The inside of the shield, the shoulders here. That's probably gonna be okay. Those are black, I think, so. Let's just get some of this gun, because some of this is going to be gray anyway. So we'll just dry brush the gun up, and the hand is here anyway, so just gonna get that. Okay, so that's our gray. Oops, get that arm for my camera. So that's that. Let's get this all dried out and cleaned off. And also use our apron that we have on to dry off our brush here. Okay, and then we will move to our off-white color. Give it a good shake. And now we're gonna do a bigger coat of white onto this whole thing. So let's get this. Let's dry brush this the best we can on. I'm gonna leave a lot onto the brush. It's fine. We can have a good amount on here because this is the color of the Tallgeese, is white. So we can work with this to keep our panel lines intact. Trying to keep it going consistently, pretty like one direction, so that it looks consistent, because this is going to be like our white coat of the model. I'm just focusing on this stuff before. And this gives it kind of like a worn, battle damaged type of look, as well as tinting it with shadows and darks and lights So it's a pretty good way to get these covered fast. And there'll probably be another Tallgeese model when the game comes out, so you can just use this for practice. Let's get the head, make sure the head's covered. The backs of the feet here. Probably do like another coat on the shield. We'll just keep this towards the top now. This last coat, just kind of keep it toward the top so that the brightest bits are up here. And then for the hand that is on here, we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna hit that with the white. That's the only white that'll be on there. So that's it for all that stuff, the base coat. Now we're gonna move into the other stuff. So we're gonna start with this Black Templar contrast paint, and we're using that for the darkest areas. So those are like the joints usually. So let's get here. Oop. So we want to look for the joints. Check the feet. Okay, it does have a white bit, so we can use this on here. We can probably go back to that actually. Let's take a pause on that. So let's just get all these joints with this black contrast paint first. So that, yeah, you know what, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go here and take the black paint. We're gonna get the feet. The feet are similar to the Leo's feet in that they have like a little piece in the back that crosses over. This is the mobile suit in which all the mobile suits are built around or built off of. In that. So then we're gonna get the waist as well here. We're being a little careful to avoid some of this. We're getting that whole waist. And then the hand itself, because the hand will be black. Can't really see the joints in there because it's got those elbow pads and stuff. So we'll leave that. We're gonna go to the back here. Just gonna clean up around all of the feet. Make sure the bottom of the feet are all black. And then we'll work on these vernier rockets, his boosters that he has. That makes him go so fast that it gave him a heart attack the first time he flew this. And then he said he had to overcome his ability and become unheart attackable. So that's pretty cool. You're like, oh, you have to be pretty tough to fly this thing or you're gonna have a heart attack. It's a pretty good deterrent. So we're gonna get here. And we're leaving those little areas like we did on the feet. My hands are shaking pretty good. It's always fun. It's always a fun challenge to have when you're painting. So we're just gonna get these, make sure you get the boosters themselves, all that. We're getting this bottom piece as well. Get in there. And that's gonna probably do it for the black, mostly. Let me look at my references that I have kind of scattered throughout. So we do have this little crotch piece here. What? What'd you say? Can I cook the steak? Yeah. Not right now, but yeah. In a minute. Sorry. So let's get all that covered with the black, because that's just a piece that covers. Oh, and then now we'll use a different color for that. Okay. So that's all the black areas. We're gonna go to like the kind of black areas with that, and we're gonna use this basalt gray color that we used on a lot of our other Gundams that we've painted so far. And then we're gonna get some of this stuff like this little thruster thingy that's on the Oz suits. We have this. So this little piece there, this little grabby piece. We also got the little, I don't know if these are smoke launchers or just like pieces, but those. My 3D printer is now blasting because I have continued printing. I took a little break for a little bit to print some stuff. I want to get these. It's funny because like this model seems kind of built around the real grade version of the Tallgeese. So like these little details are on that model. And then in here, I'm just gonna hit the little burner rockets with this. The little extra thingies, just to add some color variation inside here, some visual interest. You can also, you know, dry brush like a metallic in there or something when we get there. All that stuff is pretty valid to do. Then we're gonna paint the little connector piece here with this. Same thing here with what we can see of it. This one's a little bit hidden better. Okay. And then a lot of this gun is going to be this color. So let's just, here we're gonna leave the barrel. I was gonna buy 2 of these because I was gonna put this dauber gun on a Leo. I think that would be pretty cool to have one with it. Just get most of this coated with the basalt gray. There we go. Then we have our yellows. Now there's a couple of directions we can go here, and there is a direction that we've been going for some other things. But for one part, I'm going to use this Imperial Fist contrast paint. We haven't been using contrast paints for our yellows because some of the spots have been kind of hard to reach and you couldn't really see them. But this one, you can see pretty well. So I just want to get that covered, and then behind the head as well, I want to get with this so that it covers easier, it doesn't mess up anything that we've done already, and that, there we go, it'll just look cleaner. And then for the rest of the yellow, we'll go to the yellow paint, which is this flat yellow from Vallejo. So now we have the yellow. Oop. We're gonna paint our eagle here. Now we could use that contrast for sure. There would be no problem using that contrast if that's what you wanted to do. But I wanted to use paint for most of this, so we're going to be painting it with this. And we're also going to paint the ring of the shield with the yellow, because I think this was kind of based off the real grade Tallgeese, and the real grade Tallgeese has a yellow around its shield. So we're just gonna carry this through. Nice and smooth. Going pretty slow to avoid hitting anything that we don't wanna. You can get the outline of it here, and then we can come in here and fix the inside here. We're just gonna keep pushing with this guy. There we go. So we got the yellow for his shield. There's also like a little lip here on the inside that you can kind of see on the model that we want yellow also. You don't have to do this. This is like if you want to do like the anime version, you know, it doesn't have this much yellow on it, but it does definitely add character to the model. So he's got like this little hangy piece right here that kind of sticks out under the shoulder pad. That is also yellow. Now you can do some yellow details back here and stuff like that. And then he does have a little bit of yellow around his hands. So you can do this as well. Just get on that innermost edge and paint the yellow there. For this hand, all you have to do is the very top there, and then you can see. And I think those little pieces inside his head are also yellow on the sides. But again, this is small, so we want to use probably the contrast paint here to take that yellow and just deposit it lightly into the side here. Oop. Wash off our brush here, and we can get this out like that. And then we can go to the red, which is this deep red. For this, we're gonna get the little feathery Roman crown part. Nice bright red. Then we will take some Ethermatic blue. This is for the eyes. It's like a little, just a swipe across that middle right there. So if we can try our best to get it in there. And we can go back to our medium gray and do some small touch-ups like the piece right here. Make that gray. Just to add some variance to the panels here, we're gonna put some grays down on little teeny pieces here and there. So between here, we'll take this piece on the shoulder and make that gray. And then is the middle white? Well, the middle is white usually, but I think it would look good with the gray there. Cool. Now we can take some of that white and just do a little bit of highlighting on the very tops of surfaces here, just to brighten this up a bit and clean up some of that yellow that we had made a mess with in the head area. And then the hand here, I'm just gonna take some of this and put it more straight on there. Okay, and then we can probably now pick this up, slide this on. Like that. And then we'll go to our wash step, which is Nuln Oil. It doesn't need a whole lot of help, but we've done this on all of our models, so to make them consistent, we do this to help pop out those lines a little bit more, the panel lines, and kind of grunge up the model a little bit more. Not necessary, you don't have to do this, especially if you're happy with its original coat. But I think for like things like flatter colors and like tops of panels and stuff like this, it really helps bring them out a little bit more. So we're almost done here. Just kind of give it a little bit of a once over here with our wash, just to get those darks darker. And give him a little bit more of a more lived in look. Get the backs of these here. Make sure he's staying in his space. And the shield. You definitely want it in this little gray areas that we did. And then over the face. to help pop out those details a little bit more. And over the blaster, his dauber gun. And that is how we paint the Tallgeese for the Gundam Assemble miniature game. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And then we will catch you all on the next one. Now you could go over this with white again, just to clean all that up and just make it a little bit more vibrant of a white. Just go over these areas just to kind of give like a quick rundown of stuff you could do. And that'll help brighten that stuff up for you again, if that's what you want. But if you want battle damage, this is the way to go. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one.